I want to see if I can make it come up here. Come here, big boy. Come on. Uh-oh. Oh yeah, he's leaving. Run! No! Back on Subnautica again. You guys loved the last part. Link in the description. So here we go again. Last time I left you guys with me building my own base. Nothing was really put in it, but that's exactly what I'm going to do right now. At the start I didn't realise it, but I had a pretty severe lack of supplies, specifically titanium. After going around picking up metal salvage, going through caves to get quartz, etc., I finally had enough supplies and finished up my base. The first thing I built was just a simple wall locker. One of the main problems I had was the lack of storage. I was hauling around everything in my inventory and leaving some of it in the life pod. This locker surprisingly helped quite a bit. I also finished up these solar panels on the top of my base to ensure that it had enough power for pretty much anything. I then constructed a fabricator because this would mean I basically never had to go back to the life pod. And for the same reasons, I also built a radio right next to it. I constructed 2 more lockers, one for building and one for crafting, and loaded it up with some of my materials. The next thing I made was a modification station. This was a very important part and would allow me to make many upgrades to basically all of my gear. However, it's really hard to get all the materials for it, so it took a while to farm. But on the bright side, now I had access to the ultra glide fins and the ultra high capacity tank. This was all very well and good, but some of you with eyes might have noticed that there was a timer in the top right of my screen. Sunbeam would be landing very soon on one of the nearby islands. I think it was time to finally head over there. I emptied some of my valuable items into my locker so I had more inventory space, and it was time to head out. Shit, did I just beach my seam off? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'll deal with that in a minute. Oh shit! Okay, I'm just gonna ignore the impending Reaper down there. I skimmed the edge of the island looking for valuable materials and of course the Reaper. I found another Cyclops engine fragment and then I was poking around at these weird cubic looking alien structures. I was looking for a way in to be honest, but there really wasn't one. When I set foot back on the island I found this weird pedestal that was asking for a purple tablet. Yeah, I think I'll come back to this later. There's another warper, that's very close to me. After getting spooked by this warper, I decided to just ignore it and look for the Reaper Leviathan so I knew exactly where it was and where to avoid. I want to see if I can make it come up here. Come on. Come on. Come on, you won't. Oh yeah, he's leaving. Fuck, run! No! Oh, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. Go, go.
You're right.
Yeah, I know, but look, look, look. Oh, he's going back down there. Oh, I could have died. I hope you know I did that purely for content and now I have to change my pants.
9, 8.
I can't see it.
It's coming from the building. Change course. Set thrusters to full.
I've been messing around doing stupid stuff like nearly dying to a Reaper, but this really planted the reality that I'm still pretty much fucked and alone on this planet. Where did it all go? It's just smoke now. Hey, what the fuck? That is just messed up. After all of that, I went round into some of the caves and started breaking through these shallow outcrops for some pretty useful resources. Go away! At this point, I had to abandon my Seamoth on the island and travel back to my life pod and base. I needed to get the propulsion cannon once again to try and save my Seamoth from being beached. When I got back, I also placed a beacon on my base so I knew exactly where it was at all times. Okay, now I have my propulsion cannon, I can head back over to the Seamoth and hopefully unbeach it. This better work. Oh wait. Wait, what? Wait. I don't think it's working. I honestly don't think. Wait, I think this can work. I think it's in. I think it's in. Okay. Please. There we go. Come on, come on. Nice. After successfully unbeaching the sea moth, I took it back home so it could never be beached again. Once I had it, I fixed it all up and decided to go out to the other island. Be tingling, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. Oh, I fucking hate it, I fucking hate it, I fucking hate it. Yeah, this is what I mean when I say fear of the ocean. My feet were tingling and I was literally covering my face. What about the island though? Why was I coming here? Admittedly, there isn't actually much on this island. I was coming here for some crops, which I ended up eating anyway, but most importantly the multi-purpose room. Okay, we're not going to beach our sea moth again. I walked through the paths and scaled the cliffs and got to this abandoned building. I scanned and salvaged everything that I thought would be useful in there and just left. I walked down the mountain and got to this new abandoned building. Here I found the multi-purpose room, which is almost entirely the reason I came to this island in the first place. Another purple tablet in there. I went into the other building, took the abandoned PDA and scanned some more blueprints, and then just left the island as a whole. Okay, so I think for now, we're done here. Like, I hate this. This view terrifies me. I got back to the base and did a whole bunch of base building. I built the multi-purpose room, the scanner room, a couple foundations, and even put an aquarium in my multi-purpose room. I unloaded some junk into my locker, finished off some touches on my base, and then decided I wanted to go out on another mission. This time I'd be going back to the Aurora. I was going there for the prawn suit as well as a bed to put into my multi-purpose room. I know, not the best priorities, but you know, I want a bed. Sped past the Reaper like it wasn't there, and then made it onto the ship, hopefully being the last time. I sped past everything and rushed straight to the prawn suit room. I scanned all 4 fragments, which meant when I had the materials, I could build myself a fucking prawn suit. I grabbed this cute cat poster from my base, and then with the power of the internet, I looked up the code to the captain's quarters and entered. I don't like usually doing this, I like figuring things out for myself, but a stupid thing like a code which is just blocking progress, I feel like it's pretty reasonable. Regardless of that, I just received the blueprints, or what I think is the blueprints anyway, for the Neptune escape rocket. In short, I found a way off of this terrifying planet. I grabbed this little toy and left the next room. I made my way through to the next area, laser cut my way through this sealed door. And yes, that is another room with another code. I did what I needed to do to get into this room, and then there wasn't really much in there. Being careful with the Reaper, I then left the Aurora. I then put up my swag poster. I then went out to the creepvine forest to get some materials to craft my bed, and then returned home and constructed it. I woke up the next morning, crafted a very large room, and decided it was about time I get that prawn suit. We'll make our aerogel now. I started crafting, and while I had materials, it was only about half of what I needed to make the whole prawn suit. After looking around in my storages, I came to the conclusion I'd need to go back to the alien island. This was because I was missing a gel sack, and the only other gel sack I've ever found was on that island, and I also needed a little bit more lithium. I made a spare locker dedicated to just holding the materials for the prawn suit because there was actually a surprising amount of ingredients that I would need. I headed out and started gathering up some materials, even going as far as to scan things that I'd already scanned to get spare titanium. As boring and grueling as it was actually working, and I was starting to work my way towards having the amount that I needed. Eventually I gathered up enough titanium to the point where I didn't actually need any more, and just headed over to the island to collect the spare lithium that I needed to make the plasteel ingots. I was here on this island for quite a while, poking around in these caves and kind of getting lost, to be completely honest, but I ended up getting pretty much everything I needed except the gel sacks, and I also was forgetting the stalker teeth that I would need for the enameled glass. When I was on the island, I remembered that this big ass building was here, and I hadn't explored it yet. I found all sorts of weird and useful items in this building, and even got to ride on this weird alien elevator.
Interfacing with this facility is achieved by accessing the control room in the lower section.
When I exited out of the elevator, there was this giant pool of water, but I didn't want to go out there yet because I wasn't sure what was on the other side, and I wanted to keep exploring this big building. After getting to the control room, I found this weird device, and this is what happened. Ew. Ew. It's freaky.
The control panel is broadcasting a message. Translation reads, "Warning, infected individuals may not disable the weapon. This planet is under quarantine."
Oh wait, I haven't self-scanned.
Self-scan complete. Bacterial infection in your system is progressing. Detecting skin irritation and immune system response. Further data required to identify bacterial strain.
In short, I had just learned that this whole planet is under attack by a bacteria. I am infected with this bacteria, meaning I cannot deactivate this weapon. The goal is to get off of this planet, and if I can't deactivate that weapon, I have no way out. If I find a way to construct that Neptune escape rocket, it's just gonna get shot down. I need to find a way to cure this infection before I do any of this. After staying on the island for far too long, I was extremely thirsty and needed to get back to the base ASAP, so I left the island. Upon returning, I crafted everything that I collected and got that one step closer to the big bad prawn suit. Oh wait, I need enameled glass as well. I don't know how you get stalker tooth. After a quick Google search, I figured out how you get enameled glass, got both ingredients, and returned to my base to make the last ingredient I needed for my prawn suit.
It is normal when first piloting a prawn suit to feel a sense of limitless power. Prawn operators.
I finally got my prawn suit, and yes, I did get the feeling of limitless power. Look at the fucking size of it. That is, like, compared to my base, look at the size of that thing. What the hell?